here.
Ooh, Sucio Talk podcast. Chef Parker Brown in the house. Sucio Talk podcast, Oakland, Bay Area shit. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for coming over to the bridge, man.
No, man, adventure getting over. Love it.
I know, right? You're like traffic. I'm like, oh shit, no way.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, right.
But no, it's good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
First and foremost, maybe we should do one of these.
Yeah.
Cheers, my bro.
Cheers. All right. Yeah. Now that everything's in order.
Exactly. We got our mise en place set up. We're good. Got the LaCroix in the back in case we need some hydration during. But we got no refrigeration, so we got to crush these. And that's okay with me. All right.
Here for it.
So, Chef Parker Brown, what are you doing right now?
We're looking for spaces for our own project, my wife and I.
Okay.
Yeah, man, doing pop-ups, doing a little private chefing. Bills got to be paid, but
yeah.
Just on the grind for our own thing, man. I've been doing it for other people for over a decade. It's time to do it for yourself.
All right, I heard that. What's the name of the pop-up?
Side A.
Side A.
So yeah, it's a vinyl.
You guys did a pop-up last night.
Monday at El Chacho Rager.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out.
Dude, they got those nice
Aaron.
ham lights.
Yeah, dude, the ham lights and stuff like that.
Aaron
and Rafa, man, they just
El Chato, I just went there last week.
Dude, I've done a lot of pop-ups over the years, and it was the most fun I've ever had. To just plug in show up at 2 p.m., and just be like, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It was from start to finish, 4 p.m. to, man, we were there to probably 11, just raging.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Sold food, the great turnout, the industry showed out for us. It was really awesome.
Yeah, I saw Mike's story. I'm never good at following. I see the event, and I'm like, yo, I'm going to go to it, and then I always miss it. And I'm like, but we got to get better at that because there's so much shit that I look on Instagram, I'm like, oh, it was last week.
I think even this week was such a, man, the city just showed so much love. It just shows what that can do. You know what I mean? To show up for people to it really means a lot. My wife's a vinyl DJ, and she's out visiting all her friends sets all the time. And it's that same thing, man. It's that relationship that's going to help, I think, maintain what we do. It's bigger than just the food.
Right. What is the reference to side A?
A record, man. So
okay.
The side A of a record. It's the first one. You know what I mean? It's our first venture on our own. It's our first project. So it's
what kind of food? What's the concept?
It's American comfort. I call it a modern American comfort food, man. I'm gonna get rid of the new American. It's not something new American.
Sometimes I say old American.
Old American.
Because I think by this point it's old.
Yeah, man. I cook comfort food though. I cooked fine dining food for the last decade.
Yeah.
It's time to cook the food that I want to eat.
Right.
Just something that people I feel can relate to, and I think what we want to bring to the city is kind of that middle ground. You know what I mean? There's a lot of really nice restaurants in the city.
Yeah.
But as a consumer, for even myself, man, I'm not rolling in dough. I want to be able to go out and support my people, but also have it be approachable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to be able to eat it more than once every 3 months, a year.
Right.
Whatever it may be.
Yeah. And I think we can all coexist in whatever world we want to live in as restaurants.
Dude, 100%.
It's whatever you want. That's it.
I was at the Marin Market today with Seth from Osito.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm he and I are on, we joke about all the time, such opposite ends of the spectrum of chefdom.
Yeah.
He is the creative type, and I'm where's the prep list? It's just a list if there's not quantities on it.
Right.
You know what
right.
I mean? But I think, like you said, we can coexist, and I think we can support each other, and there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's the funnest part about it all.
Exactly.
There's just how you do it and get the job done.
And we're getting over that now, but before it was very much if you did fine dining, you were fuck casual.
100. Yeah.
And then first, it's where we went anyway, but after a while, now it's fine. So I'm glad we made it,
Yeah, man. I think we're all the city's headed the right direction.
Yeah, damn right.
You know what I mean?
Well, Parker Brown, here on Sucio Talk, we're going to go all the way back. Where were you born?
Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin. School me.
No,
Never seen it.
No, man. I was like born in Milwaukee. I grew up in like the suburbs of Chicago.
Right. All right.
That's where I was born. But no, yeah. I grew up in like the burbs of Chicago. You know, like pretty much like the standard middle American life.
Right.
Yeah, I was like a strength and conditioning coach for high school and college athletes. Like when I got out of high school and like did that for a while, it was great. And was like, this doesn't work for me. I don't want to be 50 and have to like be at the gym.
Yeah.
At 5 a.m.
Like not even working out yourself.
Yeah.
Like working out other people.
Yeah. Dude, like just like the entrepreneurial ceiling looked low. And food was the next thing, I guess. It just like kind of happened. You know, you applied to culinary school, didn't go. Got fortunate, not knocked on a back door, but you know, I think I fired off like 10 emails to restaurants I found on Craigslist in downtown Chicago. Like this, didn't even send them a resume. It was just like, hey, I've been a trainer for this amount of time. This is my availability. Looking to get my foot in the door. One place called me back.
What was that place?
MK is what it was called.
MK.
Michael Cornick's flagship. Eric Williams was the executive chef there for like my tenure. DeMar was like the sous chef there. So, I mean, I pretty much owe that restaurant my career.
They just gave you a job, or did you
they staged. You know, I showed up. You know, I had to take like the train from the suburbs.
Right.
Showed up in like a tie. Didn't have knives.
And they're like, we are definitely hiring this kid.
And like, just like totally like looking at like the hiring process that I do now. And I was like, man, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like sticking my neck out for that project, you know?
Right.
And I remember sitting with Rich Phelps, and he was like, well, do you have knives? And I was like, no. He's like, all right, like, here's an address. Go to Northwest Cutlery. Get yourself a chef's knife, a boning knife, a petty knife, and I don't know what was the other, like a peeler or some shit like that. And, I remember like walking there and like spending $86. Only money I had, and I bought like a, you know, one of those fucking hammer chef's knives. Like this big, you know what I mean?
So big,
your like prep cook uses to like fucking chop stuff, you know, like. And I showed up like for a stage, and they like had me break lobsters and butcher chickens, and they're like, well, we don't really have a position, but you can take like a prep position for $7 an hour, 2 days a week. And I said yes, and I think it was like one of those things that I don't know if they expected me to say yes. You know, I think it was like a test to some level, but I took the job and I like showed up and, you know, was totally in over my head, you know, like had no business doing or being in this like fine dining.
Who trained you at that first day? Who was like, what'd you do?
Vidal was his name. He was like the AM sous chef. He had been there for like 5 years. So the thing about him, like, I don't know,
Vidal. My God.
Yeah, like it was, it had been around like 20 years before it closed. You know what I mean? It like it's like a farm for a lot of really great chefs that are out in the world right now. And like you could just tell nobody wanted me there. Like the first 6 months, like I was not helpful. You know what I mean? Like I was like slow and messy and like didn't know. I remember Rich, I like came in one day and Rich was like, I want to kill you, but like I hired you type scenario. He's like, you put the chicken on the wrong shelf type scenario. And he like handed me a sanitation book. I was like, you better fucking read this type scenario.
Damn. Well, they got to you and it worked.
I just showed up, you know what I mean? And I was going to work hard, you know, and I was going to know what I knew, you know, and if I didn't know, I was willing to learn. And
how soon after that did you leave the gym?
I didn't leave the gym until I got my first sous chef job. I like just minimized some of my days down and would do like Sundays and Mondays and
got it. That's hardcore
because the money was way better.
Yeah,
you know, I mean? like I had bills to pay. $7 an hour like wasn't getting me very far. Like, you know, not to mention like taking the train down, which was $7. You know, like it was a like up, you know, uphill both ways type scenario.
That's pretty crazy. I don't know that I ever encountered any physical therapist cooks that were coming up, you know, like usually we all were just like poor and we worked at, you know, we just worked at the restaurant.
Too.
Well, I know. Yeah. I know that. Yeah. And 2 jobs doesn't mean you're rich.
No,
you know, I feel like some people think that, but no.
No, man. I mean, it was terrible. like it was bad. Like it was hard. And, yeah, dude, like I just, that was the only way though. I remember like riding the train and just being like, if I can survive this, you know, like if I can survive this moment, there's so many people who wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? And if I can just get through this, it'll be it'll be worthwhile.
What'd your family think when you were like, I'm leaving the gym business?
My parents are like the best. They like supported me. They like, are you happy?
That kind of shit.
Yeah. They truly like
That's
to a fault.
awesome.
Like, man, they're just
That's
like
dope.
they don't give a like they just want me to be excited. And
That
passionate.
reminds me of that movie. You ever seen Not Another Teen Movie? Where he's like, yeah, and then I'm going to have a party and have this and this and that. And the parents are like, all right, we're going to go on vacation. Like, we'll come back.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So, I've been fortunate in that realm, man. Like, everybody was into it. You know, I think there was some like, you're a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like, because honestly, going from exercise to that was definitely different. But it was sports to sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I hate,
Same mentality.
like, I got into the kitchen. I was like, oh, I get it. Competitive,
Mm-hmm.
you know, hierarchy. Like, it was like easy to like, okay, this is what you need to do to
Right.
progress.
Same insecurities.
Yeah, honestly,
You know?
like it's all performance based, right?
Yeah.
Like,
literally.
so it was easy for me to digest and be like, okay, like plug and play. I don't know what I don't know, but like, give me time to train. You know what I mean? You've worked how long in the kitchen? I've worked 4 days.
Yeah.
Like, give me 4 years and like, let's see where we're at. I just like, but you're talking 2 jobs, man. I think to like Damar, you know, like he was like, would like go to Capitol Grill and butcher in the morning.
Yeah.
And then come be sous chef at MK. You know, and I like to think about days like that in my head, I'm just like, oh my God, gross. Like that would have been so hard.
Yeah.
And he just like did it because he's like, he wanted to be better. And like, you were just around people like that and you're like, well, I'm going to just be better. You know, I'm just going to like work hard and I can like still hear Eric Williams coming down the stairs and I'm like, I can hear you cutting herbs. You know what I mean? Like I can hear you cutting chives from the stairs, you know, like just like things that will forever be in your brain. And that you'll pass down.
That shapes you, man. It's like, it's true. It's the same for actors. Like the first 3 roles you're in, that's kind of like how you always work. You might as well, for your first job, try to work at the best spot you possibly can. They know you suck. You don't have any experience. But what else you got to lose? But your second job should be more or less turn and burn. Fucking.
What's so funny is like, I didn't even know, man.
Yeah.
Like I like was so naive when I got into it. I was just like, I mean, some Rick Bayless restaurant I probably applied to. And I like, but again, like I didn't even like know who these chefs really were.
Right.
Minus like TV or like a book that you had seen. Like, but like I had no even a clue like what the culinary industry, hospitality industry was.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like not even close.
What did you like about it so much?
I liked the competitiveness. Like I think that was like the hook in the team. You know what I mean? I was fortunate to have some like really great mentors who probably gave me more opportunity than I deserved. And I don't know. Yeah, I just like liked that. I liked the crunch of it. You know what I mean? I liked the feeling you got when you were cooking and like you were in the fucking weeds. You know what I mean? And but like you look to your left and right and like those people are fucking in the weeds too.
Yeah,
it's like you know. There's something like addicting to that, you know, like, I don't know if I like would want to do it forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's growth, but, I just think like, yeah,
We should be able to do seasons. It should be like highly seasoned. Like I would do this for a career. Like don't give me a restaurant. Just make me a pinch hitter at 3 Michelin star restaurants.
Dude, I mean,
all week, you know, and then.
It's like what I'm doing. I'm like moonlighting right now.
Yeah. You can't do that.
I spent like last week all at Osito because Seth was in Mexico cooking. So like I just like hung out. I've been helping out with the guys at Anomaly. Just you know, Mike needed some little time off. It's awesome. You know, like you go in and you just like get to like be a pinch hitter. Like it's literally that.
You're like the cool uncle.
Yeah, dude. Like just here to help. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like what can I do? You know, like I just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like back to like the genuine core of, I don't know, man. Cooking's supposed to be a little fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed watching his service.
Yeah, dude.
I thought Mike's service was energetic. He knows how to make something insignificant. Because it's only really significant to the guest, right? And obviously the cooks and the chefs doing it. But like when you're in the shits, you're not like, wow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to go, right?
Yeah.
But every time you go to the table, you got to, wow.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was a cool mix of energy, great soundtrack.
Yeah, there's no hiding there.
No, there's no at all.
Like no, not even a little bit.
At all.
Like
I'm like awkward eye contact much. But the cooks are used to it, so they just like, it's whatever.
Don't look at it.
They're also busy as fuck. There's only 3 of them.
Yeah, dude, like what they do with like the amount of bodies, like again, respect. Like those guys like show up every day and just like they just do it, man.
And what I liked, I was watching the dining room, and they didn't do the thing that most 3 Michelin star restaurants do. I mean, that I've seen do service, where it's like everything becomes a banquet at the end. Like at the end at the end of the turn, it's like, okay, we're gonna go on 12 chicken and then 13 beef, and it's like, come on, man, like we don't want to do that.
The dining room is all waiting there together.
Literally, like we got to turn the tables, like those kind of places. But there, he still has that luxury of taking his time. Yeah, and not needing to like rush people out and shit. Yeah, and it's in a beautiful neighborhood too. Not gonna get robbed.
What he's done with the space, like how he like.
Yeah,
I mean it's really cool.
Yeah,
like, again,
shout out to him. Yeah, shout out. So you're looking for spaces. Where are you looking? SF,
man.
Trying to pay them rent.
Oh, dude,
rent, baby.
It's not a disaster, but it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's hard, dude. I mean, we've been casually looking for 2-3 years. Proactively, let's call it a year. It's just, I know the business I want to run, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's just only so much I can pay for rent. It's just like it's an equation. It's not like I don't want to call myself an artist, man. Like a restaurant is a business. Like whether you like that or not, like it just is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to treat it like that. And, I got some people who want to work with me, and I don't take it lightly that they're going to come do that. And like, I've got to pay them so they can pay their bills. You know what I mean? So I want to be really, really sure about the deal I'm going to get myself into, because it's not about me. It's about them. You know what I mean? The people that are willing to come and risk their whatever to come make something special.
Yeah.
And I could probably be less patient, but I told myself I was going to stick to a few things and not not move on them. And I just think I need to keep doing that. So we're just going to keep searching, man. We're going to do pop-ups and I'm doing a collab week with Osito in July for a whole week. So that'll be fun. And, again, I've been moonlighting, doing stuff with these guys here and there. So I feel blessed, man. Like, honestly, like at the beginning of the year, you're like, okay, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to like pay your bills, and what are you going to, and opportunity's been coming around. And again, the community here is awesome, dude. Like, I think like, the food scene in San Francisco, Oakland, the Bay, like is pretty great, man.
And you can make it here on a pop-up,
Yeah, you can, dude. Yeah. I know plenty of people, dude, who are doing it.
Yeah. Exactly. Shout out Hadim.
Yeah, dude. Shout out Spencer. No joke, dude. Yeah. Like, dude, if you're in New York right now, I hope you're fucking crushing it.
Exactly. He is crushing it, bro. Yeah. He's with Jeff right now, cooking at the James Beard platform.
Yeah, dude. So I saw him right before he left at El Chato, actually, funny enough.
El Chato.
And
I think he lives right by there.
Who? Spencer? Yeah. I don't know. But either way, like,
I'm lying. Maybe I'm lying.
He's like done the work, dude. Like he has,
I know.
He has like neighborhood, like R&D specs of like turnout. Like that dude has just done it. Like, and like respect, because it's hard. Like
it is, man.
It's a lot. I mean, I'm cooking out like,
you're a catering roadshow.
A roadshow, dude. Like traveling back and forth, like finding a commercial kitchen.
Forget the menus. Yeah. Go to a print shop.
Yeah, FedEx.
Like,
man. I don't have a car. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like getting around, like to Uber. It's tough.
It's those times that make you question, do I really want to do this? But if the answer is yes, then you're good.
I just like don't know what else.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like what we
Fuck
do.
It.
Yeah, it's
Let's
just
go.
what we fucking do.
So you said you and your wife.
My wife. She's the music side of things. She's got a full-time job as well. But we've always. It's really the culmination of like our careers and like love story to make it like romantic.
Damn, chef. Let's listen to the love story. What happened?
We've been together over a decade. Like she was with me when I was a Garmo cook type scenario, and she's been in the.
She was with you on Garmo.
Yeah,
she stayed with you all the way through all those phases, bro.
She tried to leave.
That is a trooper right there.
So I mean, like, no joke.
Most girls can't make it past meat station, bro.
Yeah. No, real talk. But yeah, dude, we like did pop-ups in Chicago when I was like a cook on the line. Like I had this idea. She helped start. Have you ever heard of So Far Sounds?
Yeah.
So she helped start it in Chicago. I like went to one and was like, we could like probably throw an event if you invited some musicians.
Yeah.
Me and I like another guy on the line, Brian, like cooked, and my buddy Pablo, who was a bartender, like talked to some of these like beer reps. They could donate some stuff, and we just like threw these fucking like house parties, like where we would cook all the like we bought all of our like plateware and like stuff like that from like thrift shops. It's like all like China, random stuff, and we just like would stow it like in any closet we could, and we just like threw out, man, probably 7, 8 of them. So it's always just like been in my head, this like music, food, vibes type scenario. And we just like finally, you know, we've done the work that we feel like it's time to like put it all together for ourselves and again, create something fun, man. I just want to like cook good food that people want to eat. Kind of like, I want to throw a house party every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, you trying to be open 7 days a week?
No, let's not like let's not get crazy. But I think you know what's funny is like what days are you supposed to be open?
Yeah, right.
You know, I think like, you know, to do the El Chato on Monday and see the industry turn out, like Monday's not like,
dude, Monday's the shit. So check this out. Down the street from El Chato, there's a place called Asiento.
Okay.
And they have a stage there. Shout out Debbie Cohn, the owner. And I want to do a live podcast there.
Sick.
So when you open, we're gonna do one there.
I'm in. Done. Yeah. Sign me up. Let's put it on the calendar.
There is a lot of cool traffic over there because you got Flower and Water, Pasta Shop. What are the other ones? True Laurel's
Trick
awesome.
Dog. Yeah.
They're all right there, you know.
Yeah, that whole like little like neighborhood is awesome. But again, how do they pay that rent? You know what I mean? Like,
you know, across the street from there is where OpenAI is.
On the other corner?
No, literally across from Mosito.
Sorry. Yeah, like it's like the colorful.
Yeah, it's like right there.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah. So it's like when I would open up the loading dock to get orders, I would see Osito.
No kidding.
I'm like looking over, like, I'm gonna get a podcast with you. And then one day, he left his car parked outside with the hazards on. And then I ran in the restaurant. I was like, yo, your car's, need to move your car for my order. But also you want to do a podcast.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me ask you, what's podcast, man?
Yeah.
This is like number 200?
164.
164.
Yeah. And that's all day.
That's all day.
Probably 100 of them are video.
That's a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
What keeps you going?
I need more. I want to do this for a living.
All right.
Like, I want to go travel around the world, not just eat, but stage.
For sure.
And record the progress of the entire culinary industry as it's happening. And then motherfuckers.
Top level or bottom level? You know what I mean? Are we talking
everything?
Like,
I'm talking about just.
Like, you talking about like hanging with the prep cooks? Or you talking about,
yeah,
like, you know, like.
Yes. I'm talking about.
Pass list, like listening to, you know, like a chef.
Dishwasher Network.
Yeah.
Like fucking sous chefs, cooks. Obviously, it's hard, right? You not everybody's cut out to be on this kind of shit. You know, right, I've done some with people that it's just like, I'm sorry, I can't put this out. Like,
doesn't work.
You know, it just doesn't work. We didn't really talk about anything productive. It was kind of like, you know,
yeah,
meh.
Can't wait to be on that.
No, chef, we're already good. You know, I always look at the time. We're 23 minutes, right? And I don't feel like it. So I know that's a good sign. Because sometimes I look down and I'm like, man, we at least got to get 30 more minutes out of this conversation. You know, and at that point, I'm like reaching for shit to say. And I'm like, that's not real.
Yeah.
You know? But but one day I want to get to a point where I'm like, yo, this sucks, but still put it out. And then maybe we can just talk about why the podcast sucks at that point. To that person. I mean, that's a great podcast.
No, I hear you.
I'd be like, why didn't this chemistry work out? Like, you're whatever. But that's only if it doesn't go that way.
No,
but
as a podcast virgin, you know what I mean?
Ooh,
like
podcast virgin.
You know, like I could see how this could be really awkward.
Right. And it is sometimes.
That sounds terrible.
You know, but I live in the awkwardness.
Yeah,
you know, like it's okay. Yeah, it's like I'm cool, you know, because I know what it feels like to walk up to a table that has maybe never talked to a chef in their life, and they're like, why is he coming over here? You know what I mean?
What is this red fruit?
Yeah, exactly. And then strawberries.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what I had in my head. I was like, it's a strawberry, sir.
And they're like, oh, and they act mind blown.
Yeah.
But, you know, hey, whatever. I was talking to the dishwasher the other day, and he's like, I never seen an avocado until I moved here. And I was like, what? Imagine going your whole life for like 24 years and never seeing an avocado.
Where was he from? Or is she?
I think he's from somewhere in Asia. I'm not sure where exactly, but I'm not going to even try to.
Yeah, they pretend.
Yeah.
But that's still a mind-blowing concept. Like, how many avocado toasts have you made?
That's what I'm saying. He's like, never seen avocado, and then now I'm like, we're just crushing avocados here. 2 cases a day. You know, fuck Chipotle. Yeah. So yeah, that's the reason why I do it, man. I want to get the stories out there. Nobody cares about chefs until they open a restaurant.
For sure.
And then they open a restaurant and everybody's like, oh, we're going to suck your dick. You're going to fucking be on all these lists. And then it's like the trifecta, fucking Eater, and then Forbes, and then something else. And I'm not hating on any of that. Like, I love that for us, right? But don't act like it's the only thing.
The Michelin Club,
you know, there's a Michelin Club. You know what I mean?
I'm from Chicago originally. Like, I just remember moving out here, and like, man, the Chicago chef, like,
chef sphere,
dude, chefs is I don't know. I mean, I never worked in New York, but like, I would assume one of the best that there is. Man, like, they are so supportive of each other, no matter what type of restaurant you are, high, low, medium. You know, and I would say when I moved out here, it definitely there was like a, you know, if you didn't have one of those cute little stars on your jacket.
Yeah.
I just think people take you less seriously.
For sure.
What I mean, like,
that does happen a lot out here. There's a lot of, especially in the North. LA does a little better.
I hear that.
I know, but up here, man, ain't nothing but hate for other restaurants that are casual versus fine versus this. You'll have motherfuckers talking shit about each other, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
I think it's getting better. I think it's getting better.
It is.
You know what I mean? And I think, like,
we need knife fights. We need to host knife fights.
For sure. Just
serious.
Big knife, little knife.
I'm down. I mean, how much? I'd be like, Mike, put up the ingredients.
Right.
And I'll put on the show, and we'll sell tickets.
And have fun.
And, we'll take bets. We'll put betting shit on it. DraftKings.
Dude, DraftKings. Barstool involved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
hey, sell out completely.
Yeah, for sure.
And then give the money to the poor like Guy Fieri, dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got it all figured out.
No, that's honestly.
Yeah.
But again, why not? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's food, man. We're not doctors.
Right.
Like,
we like to think we are.
Oh, we are not saving lives.
The goddamn tweezers and shit.
You know what I mean? But
I love me a pair of tweezers, though.
They're helpful.
Yeah,
you know, like,
they're really helpful.
You know, like, you ever try to pick up, you know, some things that are really fucking small?
Yeah, exactly.
Tweezers can help.
That shit's like,
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, man, I hear you.
Roaches.
Roach clips.
Yeah. So, you're young. You're working at this restaurant. How long do you last there?
Like 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And you left as sous chef, you said?
No. I left at like, what was I, like, roast cook maybe?
Okay, got it.
No, I like.
What made you leave?
I'd been there 3 years. It was a hard restaurant. I mean, it was a hard restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no joke. But no, man, I had gone from prep cook to the fry guy to amuse bread station, going down on, you know, 280 like mini Niçoise salads. You know, you're like sieving whites and yellows and like other little touches, just getting crushed. To like Garmo, to, you know, to the hotline, and you just got to a point where you're like, what's next? You know, like, everybody had been there, man. Like, Nifa and Garmo had been there 15 years. Gus on that, I may have made that number, but it was a long time.
Yeah.
Gus had been there, for the grill guy, for, I don't know, another 15 years. DeMar, sous chef, had been there, I don't know, 5-6 years at that point. Like, everybody had just been there a long time, and it was just, I was hungry for something new. So a guy that I had met through that restaurant was like, had just taken over a restaurant. I just went and hung and cooked meat station there. Went down the hardest I've ever gone down in a restaurant. Well done cheeseburger. I can still feel it, man.
Drop it on the coals after.
Oh man, there was no coals at this restaurant, man. It was just like fucking smash the patty, and I didn't smash the patty twice, and twice was not well done enough. Oof, it was tough. It was the hardest. Like
you undercooked
a weld,
a smash.
Well, it wasn't a yes. I mean, fuck, I should have made it a smash burger. Goddamn, you know what I mean? But man, it was the worst. It was the worst. I can still taste it. like it was so bad. Yeah, I did that, and then I got my first sous chef role at Cindy's Rooftop at the Chicago Athletic Association in Chicago.
God damn, that's a long ass name. That's the name of it.
Cindy's Rooftop is what it's called. It's at the Chicago Athletic Association on Michigan Avenue. It's beautiful.
Okay, I got you.
You've seen a picture. If you ever followed Chicago restaurant, like it's a cool building. It's like the old men's club they put a bunch of money into.
Okay,
looks over Millennium Park. It's one of those like restaurants you walk into in the morning and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And I got to just cook food here.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Like this.
Okay. Museum kitchen. Heard.
Yeah, it was. I don't know about museum kitchen, but the restaurant itself was dope. And yeah, man, they had just like launched lunch and brunch.
Yeah.
So like I basically got to like take that over. Me and like a new CDC kind of came in at the same time to clean up shop a little bit. And it was just like, the best. Like it was like I had so much freedom. Like Keith Potter was his name, was the CDC. He was like a Paul Verant alum, like canned pickles, like just kind of like a Midwestern chef, and he was like an encyclopedia guy, like spelling counts. Like don't do that, stand straight.
Yeah,
and just like really you learned a lot fast and so different. I'd only been in like the one place for so long, which I learned so many things, but just like it was like one way, you know what I mean? Just like every kitchen's a little different. Like every chef's going to be a little different. And he was like the one who like taught you like play the game. It's more than cooking. You know what I mean? Like every day is a game, like managing people, like you just got to like understand the game you're playing, and it was a hotel. So I was going from like a private couple, like, family run restaurants to a hotel where like I was calling people motherfuckers and like, like being pretty mean because it was my first sous chef job. And like, I remember like one time just like yelling at two people and being like, I'm going to get myself. And I like ran straight to HR. I was like, Brian, I just called them both motherfuckers. Like, I know I'm not supposed to call them motherfuckers, but I did. And I was like, just so you know, like, I don't want to get written up for myself, but
and he's like, "This is the third time this week, Parker. Just go away. We're not going to write you up."
Kind of. I mean, he's like, just don't do it in front of everybody. You know what I mean? Like,
call them motherfuckers in private.
Yeah, like it was. But I was just like, so like, I just wanted to know. Like, I knew I was fucking up. I remember, oh man, a sales girl came in one time for a BEO, and she's like, there were supposed to be cupcakes, and we were like just going down.
Yeah.
And she's like, Parker, where are the cupcakes? I was like, I'm not worried about the fucking cupcakes. Do you want me to shit out the cupcakes right now? And she just like looked at me like I was an insane person, which admittedly I was an insane person.
Oh yeah.
And just like,
it's like one thing has set you off.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. And it was funny. The executive chef of the hotel just like let me, he was awesome, man. He like let me make the mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it like helped. It really did. Like I learned a lot to how to like work with people really quickly.
Yeah, right.
But I also had like a couple crew, man. Like that crew, I feel like that got through kind of the initial like shockwave of each other. Like, man, Sasha's like, that's my girl. She's like the CDC of that restaurant to this day.
Dope.
Yeah, she was like the one who like came in and you looked at each other like, I think we can do this. You know what I mean? Like if you and I stick together, you know what I mean?
Everything's going to be all right.
Like we're going to be all right. Yeah, man, I've been very fortunate to have like people throughout my career, top to bottom. I mean, even when I was a cook, like just, man, support each other, support me and like, don't be afraid to ask for help type scenario.
Definitely not.
I think that was something I learned early, shout out Casey Carpenter. He was like a sous chef at that place, MK, and he like just always made it super clear. Like, if you need help, man, just let me know. Let me know early. You know what I mean? Like, don't wait until 4:00. And I think like that skill, like ability to assess and be like, man, I just am not going to get this done today if I don't get a little push. Like, I think it's been super helpful. And like, asking for help is not weakness. In my opinion.
I think it should be the opinion of everyone, but some people don't think that. But you learn the hard way when you do that, because the best chefs they just let it go, man. They let their people do what they do, and they fly all over the world, and they're chilling.
Yeah,
you know?
You're not wrong.
But it also takes a certain level of cutthroat to get there as well. And so there's like, the yin and yang that you always have to go through.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I am happy that I went through like the hardships as a young cook that I went through.
Yeah.
Like you make me never want to cook again type statements, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I feel blessed to have had those. I definitely don't want to pass that trauma down.
Yeah.
But I also think like our industry has evolved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that the internet has changed our industry. You know what I mean? The Instagram. I can't even say I was, but like my wife was telling me, she was talking to a friend who's a chef who like got off Instagram, and she's like, I felt so much better. I think like that alone, like just as like a powerful statement, man. Like there's just like a lot of like, it's like mentally a lot to like keep up with Instagram as a chef.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to like want to do it to like, for whatever the reason is, you know what I mean? Whether you're passionate about just the craft or whatever it is, or vegetables.
Yeah, just hired someone to do it.
Just, like it's just
one of your nieces or something.
I don't know. Like, I'd rather just do the work, man. Like if you know, you know what I mean? I'd rather like live the life first. You know what I mean? And then talk about it versus like paint the picture on Instagram and then have to feel obligated to like live up to the image that I'm like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
The narrative I'm writing.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah,
you got to just be you.
Yeah.
Or that shit will eat you alive. Though.
Right. I think like being
straight up.
Like that's, it's just hard though, man. Like if you like watch, just like there's so many people out there who just, are very, super active, which I know. No shame, right? But it's just like it's hard. I would assume like those people like put a lot of effort into doing that. Like that's like on top of doing the job.
Dan, so how long you work at MK?
So MK was 3 years, and then I did like I don't know 6-8 months at the like it was called White Oak Tavern, and then I did roughly like 2 years at Cindy's, and then I was like just done with Chicago. And I wanted to go left. I was like, I'm just going to go left. I want something a little bit. I want like Denver was the closest I was willing to go. I met the Michael Mina guys in Chicago. They were opening a restaurant there. I basically like stalked down a chef. Yeah. Like applied. HR called me. It was like, this guy will call you in a couple weeks. He didn't call me. I called him back. So like, he'll call you in 2 weeks. He didn't call me back. Finally, I just got on Instagram and like DM'd him. I was like, you're in Chicago right now, bro. You're going to make time. And yeah, made some time. He asked me if I would move to San Francisco. I was on their task force team as like an executive sous chef, opening and closing restaurants, basically troubleshooting when needed. I did that for about a little over a year and a half, which was sick. Like I traveled a lot. Like I went to Dubai, like got to spend like 4 months in Orange County, did 4 months in Seattle. I opened International Smoke here in San Francisco. So it was an awesome thing. Like, but man, does that group work, bro? Like the Mina group, like shout out, respect, like, whew,
they get after it.
Oh
huh?
Man,
old
school. And dude, they just like grind. Those are some grinders. Like they just like put in the time. And I mean, like I said, I probably like. There's a reason why at one point they had 50 restaurants, because their infrastructure is just like so rock solid, and like the standard is the standard, and like there's no exception. Like you were going to fill out the prep list every single night. You were going to check the morning checklist. You were going to check the closing checklist. But dude,
so it's like a corporate Michelin mentality.
Oh man, 100%. Like, and
that's fucking crazy.
I mean, when we opened this International Smoke, man, we worked. There was probably 8 of us. Pesafaro was in this group. That dude, James, shout out, like was walking through the kitchen one day with sheet trays, knocked out his front tooth and just kept going. like no joke. I watched and heard it, and dude, he just like he like turned.
So James Pasquale knocked his tooth out on what, a sheet pan?
On a sheet pan, like caught, like, he like turned to, like, was going down the line. It was a tight line, and just like caught an oven or something, man, and just like,
dude.
Oh,
did he swallow it or did he just spit it out?
I don't remember. Like, he just like, yelled out a fuck, I think, and then like literally just like kept cooking.
Right.
Like that's just like how it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember like throwing up on the way, and they're like, "Oh, we'll do a short day today at 11 p.m." We got out of there. And it's like, it's just, but that's how it was. And like everyone around you was just like so in it there too, that you just like, you weren't gonna be the one to like be like, "Oh, I need a day off."
Right.
You know what I mean? We were doing like 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. Like gnarly.
5-day weeks?
7-day weeks.
7-day
dude,
weeks.
Like,
I guess you were a task force.
Yeah. So like,
you're like commandos on the ground.
Dude, it was.
So the regular employees are like, all right, see you guys Tuesday.
Oh yeah. We were like, what we like Instacart with working dishwashers, and like, like they would work for 6 hours and then they wouldn't be there anymore. And then so it would be like the task force team just like stuck with the
end of the night shit.
Oh man, like Leilani, front of house, like we're all in there just like sleeves rolled up, like doing dishes, just looking at each other like, oh man, like see you in the morning.
Wild times, man.
Yeah.
How long were you in that company?
Almost 2 years. So yeah, I did like a little over a year on the task force team, and then I landed as exec sous for Michael Mina, the flagship here in San Francisco, before it transitioned into the restaurant. What was it, Ornos, that it transitioned to. Yeah, they were like pushing. They just transitioned the menu into like Egyptian forward for Michael's background. It was like Michael Bauer's last 4-star review. Like that's like was our push that year, and it was hard, man. Like I honestly, I can say this. I said it probably to a few chefs. So when I took that job, I was like, man, this will probably be the last one here. You know what I mean? Like I had just like been beat up, and it was going into like the darkest storm of them all. You know what I mean? Like Michael's awesome, but he's tough, dude. Like I haven't been yelled at by a chef in a long time. Like Michael Mina yelled. Like it was
getting your soul.
Ooh, man, you just took it on the chin. You just like sit there and you just take it and you take it and you take it, and you're like, man.
He just doesn't stop.
Oh, dude.
Does he come back?
No.
He doesn't do that.
He's not. He's a tactician, man. Like he's like, he knows what he's doing.
He's calculated.
Yeah.
Got it. What are the other chefs in that company that are like high up? Like, are there like a few hitters that have been with him for?
Adam Sobel and G-Man have been like together for, I don't know, man, I'm gonna misspeak, but over probably a decade. Who else is in there? Like those are like your two. Adam Sobel's like the right hand of the group. Like, yeah, I can't think of the other. Chef V, their pastry corporate, has been with him for forever. And Chef Alex, he's like the VP of all culinary. He's like the culinary vice president. I'm probably butchering his title, but yeah, man, they're like, they hang on to people. Like it's definitely one of those places. Like if you drink the Kool-Aid, like you can be rewarded.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But man, it's like it's no bullshit.
Some really thick Kool-Aid to drink.
Yeah. And I'm I don't like authority enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was awesome. And it's I moved from Chicago literally for that. Like I was like ready to
all the way to San Francisco. Any girlfriends with you at the time?
No, my current wife and I were like broken up. We were like emotionally torturing each other from across the country.
Right.
I moved to San Francisco. That was far closer to Seattle where she was living at the time.
Also, it kind of helped in that department.
It helped,
Definitely.
A few months later, she showed up at the door type scenario.
Sick.
Yeah, so
sick.
Married 1 year is like last week. So
damn, Michael Mina Task Force. What's the training like for that? Are you,
dude? It's like straight into like.
Do they take you to like the farm?
No, man.
Farm?
Like, you like
CIA.
You like come to like San Francisco, and they like at the time there was, I don't know, 4 or 5 Michael Mina restaurants. Roughly, and they like basically like 2 weeks, like digest it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See what it's like, and then like, all right, you're trained up. Like, this is your next.
Go to the field.
Yeah, like the first one I was like R&Ding recipes for international smoke, and like you just like sat in a corner of a kitchen, in the way, trying to get recipes figured out.
Right.
Yeah, you did that, and like it was pretty like. I don't know if like the training was intense, but like the expectation to like download was pretty fast. You know, they have a pretty thorough, like you sit in like a classroom for a day and you sit through like these things. And like their infrastructure is very, I don't know, rigid. You know what I mean? Like this is how they do it across all board, like every restaurant in the group.
Yeah.
And I remember, they have a restaurant at the stadium, at Levi's Stadium. And I got assigned to like captain it's called tailgate, and there's like 14 little, I don't know, that's probably made up number 2. Little huts, and like there's guest chefs and stuff like that. And I like went to one just to like help one day or one weekend, and like the next weekend or the following weekend, like they had me captain. You'd like make prep sheets for like 5 days and like what it was going to look like in ordering and so on and so forth. And like the VP of culinary comes and like checks my prep list one day and is just like, this is all bullshit. You know what I mean? And you're just like, I'm trying my best. You know what I mean? Like I've been here 10 days. You know what I mean? I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just like following the coloring book. You know what I mean? Like as best as I can. But you're surrounded by such good chefs, though, that I will say that there's a safety net. You know what I mean? Like, none of the people in that group are, like, going to let the people around them fail. Yeah. Like, not intentionally. Like, that would just... The whole group is based on leadership. You know what I mean? That's what makes it so strong and, like, even, like, makes the Kool-Aid probably so thick, you know, is, like, they are a leadership high expectation group of people, which again, that's why they continue to grow. And
how often do you see Michael?
No, I haven't seen him, man, since I probably left the restaurant.
Right. No, I'm saying while you were there, like, was he a constant
part
of the operation?
I mean, he was around. I feel like I was around him a decent amount because like the projects I was on a decent amount of openings there for a while, so he was obviously always around for openings. No, me and Michael like got it, like that's what kind of pushed me to Michael Mina at one point, is, you know, him and I like expedited when International Smoke opened. Like we were the 2 expediters, and like we were able to navigate a pretty crazy service together, which I think he liked. And that's what, you know, I think, again,
you were in the trenches with Michael Mina.
Yeah, you know, it was
damn.
But yeah, I mean, I won't even like. But he's a real chef, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's a real fucking chef.
Real deal.
Real deal. Like, real deal. And, like, the people around him, even more so, man. Like, they're just, like, they're good fucking chefs, dude.
Right.
They just are.
Definitely.
You know.
That's crazy. And when did you leave that company?
End of the year 2019.
Oh, shit. We all know what's coming next.
Yeah, it was probably, December 2019.
Yeah.
I went and did like a little traveling, and then I met Peter, who's the chef owner of now Aphotic. Once upon a time was called Palette. So yeah, I opened Palette with Peter.
Like Palette?
Palette, P-A-L-E-T-T-E.
Got it.
In like Soma, it was supposed to be like a cafe type scenario, a temporary space. Roast chickens, you know, it was in the Lulu space, so there was like a rotisserie and like wood fire oven type scenario. Opened that. It was like casual, slowly grew into like, okay, not a cafe, like it's a restaurant type scenario. Fast forward, like a couple menu changes, COVID hits. Now it's like takeout. Nobody knows who we are because we like couldn't establish a presence before COVID hit.
Right.
Continue.
Ghost Kitchens hadn't gone yet.
Yeah, either. Yeah, and like, you know, we had a great team, dude. Like I had recruited, like, back to Mina, 5 Mina expats. You know what I mean? Like, so we like plugged in, and we were all like knew the language. We knew what we were doing together. Like I had worked with all of them in a former restaurant. So like our food was good. You know what I mean? At every level that we did, but like we came back from COVID initially, and like, you know, did fancier food than we were doing. And then like we continued to like grow and like, okay, like let's do a little bit of a tasting menu type scenario. But again, it just like Palette Tea House opened like the same week that we opened. So like, man, I don't know how many reservations we got. Like people would show up like expecting dim sum, you know, and we're like, we're not Palette Tea House. You know what I mean? And like that, let me tell you, that hurt.
Yeah.
You know, that was a stinger for ownership, you know. So we'd always talked, that Peter, I shouldn't say we always talked. Peter always had this like affinity with the water and stuff like that, and inside of that space is kind of boat like. So yeah, like after I don't know a couple of years, we transitioned to a photic. We like kept the whole team. You know what I mean? It was pretty like dialed in, man. We like R&D'd the menu for I don't know how long as palette. Like we had it dialed in recipes, so the strategy was really good. We closed palette, rebranded as a photic with like the sole intention of Michelin. And when I first met Peter, I straight told him, I was like, man, I just did Michelin with Michael, Mina. I'm over it. Like, not that fun. You know what I mean? Like nobody was having fun in that kitchen, and if that's all I know about Michelin so far, like, not for me. So it was cool to like kind of organically grow our cuisine. You know what I mean? And I will say that the one thing that was like really sick was sitting down in a room of people. There was only probably 6 of us. After like Peter and I had chatted and being like, looking at everybody like, so Michelin star, yeah? And everybody going like, yeah, all right, cool. This is what it's going to take. Go. And like, do it. It was dope. Like the team there, like, most of them, there's still like a core group that have been there for 5+ years. It was awesome. It was cool. It was really, really a cool process to like work through with a group of people that you've been cooking with for like 4 years. Yeah. And like at every level, you're like, let's do awesome. But to like make the conscious decision and look at each other in the eye and be like, we're all on the same page. Yeah. Like, so when I'm like being kind of an asshole and why, like, I just want to like put it out there that like, it's not me trying to be an asshole, but like, you're not pulling your weight. So it was cool. It was dope to like achieve that with a group of people that like you had been with for a while.
How long or when did you guys get the star?
Last year.
Okay.
So yeah, we transitioned, like called January of that year. So we got it in the first like
sick.
Yeah, it was, the staff wanted it, dude. Yeah. I was really fortunate. Peter gave me like a little sabbatical. Had never done any international travel. I was like, hey, Peter, I've been here, like 3 years. Like, would you give me a little stint? I'd like to come back. And when I got back, like the reception I got was like, great, our disciplinary is back. Like it was just a group of people, dude, who wanted to be good so bad. Right. From prep cook to dish to front of, to captain. Yeah. Like we were all like in agreement, like this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? So it was like really cool to like be around a group of people who like were genuinely trying to do an awesome job all the time. Like the charisma from the like even the cooks to the captains at the table, like it was just like this crazy cool thing. You know what I mean? It was. Again, shout out to that Aphotic team.
Hell yeah, baby. And then what's the menu like there? What's the tasting? How many courses?
12. All seafood.
Okay.
Yeah, and Peter goes above and beyond to make it inconvenient to like he basically agrees to buy all the fish on the boat type scenario. So like the fortunate thing, what was cool is like we had the resources.
Fish charcuterie.
Yeah, fish charcuterie is a big part of the dry aging fish, But yeah, it was, a unique little niche in the city that I don't think had been really explored yet, especially to the level that we were trying to do.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, it was dope, But again, everything I think has its shelf life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
We had worked together for 4.5 years, you know what I mean? Like we were had different goals long term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like different, morals type scenario.
Okay. And then when you decide to leave there, do you already have this plan of having your own spot?
Yeah. Like I had talked to him like previously being like, hey, like it's time to plan the
exodus.
Yeah, man. Like I had been there a long time. Like, again, I had built the infrastructure. I hired the team. Like I wanted to go out on like a good note. You know what I mean? I want to go out like, not like, oh, here's 2 weeks. Like see you never. Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, the goal has always been, since I was a Garmo cook, man, to work for myself. Like that's always been the goal. I've always wanted if I was going to do this, open a restaurant. I don't know if that's a smart idea, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to be a restaurateur? Have many restaurants?
No, like restaurateur seems a little aggressive. You know what I mean?
How many restaurants is a restaurateur?
I don't know. 3? I would say 3 probably puts you as a restaurateur. So I mean, maybe.
What does 2 have?
I think that's just like a guy who cooks at restaurants. I don't know. Like, but
wow, all the people who own 2 restaurants.
Yeah, right.
Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, no, I think probably 3 is a restaurateur. So maybe, I guess, like, I would like to open one restaurant that is financially sustainable, that can pay people real money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That empowers them to be good at their job and empower them to like take the restaurant to the next level. You know what I mean? I'll say it. I did not get into cooking to expedite dinner services for the rest of my life.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just like not what I want to do. You know what I mean? I want to give people in our industry who maybe undersell what they can do. I want to give them opportunity and support. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people in our industry who are in the gray area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that there's a little bit of like a subconscious, like I can only do so much maybe. And I want to like, I'm the one who's like, wants to break that down. It's like, let's just solve the riddle. Like, what do you want to do? What is like the biggest dream you could have? Let's like make an equation to that being the answer. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I have a few concepts that I'd like to do. First and foremost, I want to do, you know, our side A concept, which is like who we are. You know, I think in this process, you know, it's like a really internally challenging thing to do. You know, you're like, who am I as a chef? And I'm a Midwestern guy with no cultural heritage. You know what I mean? Like, what do I cook? What can I cook? Do I cook fancy food? Do I cook casual food? Does it matter? You know what I mean? Like, it's a business. So keeping that in mind, you know, like a lot of these fancy restaurants, you know, I think run really tight. That's like a hard thing to do. Like, so what can you do? Are there other business plans? Are there other like things that are compromises? You know what I mean? Like, is there something, can we do really nice food and provide a really nice experience, but not cost, I don't know, 3 numbers, which is, you know, which isn't that much money.
I think you can do it.
I think you can too.
I think you can do it, sir. Hell yeah. SF. Have you been to a photic after you left?
No.
To eat? No.
No. Maybe one day.
Okay.
Again, but it's funny. Like, I don't like eating food. Like it's just like, I'm not a tasting menu, I don't know, consumer.
If they can get it done quick, I'm into it. Anomaly, crushed it.
Yeah, right?
Hour, 10 minutes, I was done.
You know, like, I went to the laundry after my wedding, the day after my wedding. It was awesome.
Right.
You know, and
you were there for 3 years.
Dude, but I was there for 3, and like, we all got to like, you know, the second to last savory course, and we're like, whoa, like, can we do this?
Yeah.
You know, and it was, again, like, as a person who like has based his culinary career off of the idea of what the French Laundry is, like, it hit. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, and again, did I mind the price point? No. Like, you know what I mean? But am I doing that stuff? No, man. Like, I'm a consumer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we've got the whole service charge debacle going on right now. Like, I hear you. But also, I've been like a consumer sometimes, and I'm going to say it out loud. Like, it hurts sometimes, man. When you're just like, man, I don't know.
I don't know about the coffee thing. Like,
you know, like,
I'm good to tip $1. That's fine. But don't ask me for more than that, because I wouldn't tip a bartender more than that for a beer or a drink.
So, you know, again, like, I've been to some bars in some cities, man, and like, it's a 20% on top for like a couple cocktails, you know, that are $18, and you're like, man.
See, the thing is, I'm not down with that, man. I think a drink is $1.
So again, I just I would argue like restaurants have been around a long time.
Right.
They've not always had service charges. You know, and I think a lot of businesses are based on them, but I also think like this was a solution to a problem before. So like, what's the next solution?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there are people out there who don't like them. So how do you like fix that? You know what I mean? There has to be a thing where we all can agree, like, this is fair. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know what you have to educate or who you have to educate to get that across to somebody, but I think there's got to be something. You know, and again, I'm not a business owner yet. You know, I'm animated.
Yeah.
I'm not a business owner, so like maybe in a year from now, when I'm like running a business, I'm like, man, 20% would be nice.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm open. I like to hear both sides. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
Because why not?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just, where does it end?
Where does it end?
This is going to be like, first it was 20%, now it's 25%.
Dude, I've seen some 25%.
That's how much I tip.
Right.
You know?
Next thing you know, it's just like, why don't you just double pay?
Right. Now I do 20. I'm not even doing no 25 no more. That's it. It's done.
Yeah.
Especially in San Francisco. You're going homeless out here tipping people.
Dude, it's expensive to like enjoy dinner.
Right. But then if you didn't put yourself a little behind to go out, you'd be fucking inside all day.
Right. So what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
What do you do? You become an influencer and have motherfuckers pay you to do shit.
TikTok, man.
TikTok is the answer.
TikTok is always the answer.
I know. Literally, restaurants have that shit. It'll go viral
and now they're
boom. Now they're popping.
And now they got 3 restaurants, and now they're restaurants.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Literally, yeah.
Right?
Don't get just 2 restaurants. Open 3.
Yeah,
go from 1 to 3.
Absolutely.
At the
what's
same
the point
time.
Of 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
when you can open 3. Jesus Christ. I bet you it is probably easier to open 3 restaurants at once than it is to open one by one by one. I would imagine that because if you line it up to happen all within the same time frame, it's like, I feel like you can consolidate a couple visits.
How do you staff that?
Yeah, there's no staff in it. You're going to have to Insta-work it for fucking 6 months.
Dude, and that does not work.
No. Like, Insta-work is rough.
It is
Insta-work is rough, bro. Some of the people on there, I'm like, they let you work with food? But I've been on that app, and let me tell you, there's no screening.
No, it's like I just want $27 an hour to do your dishes.
Bro.
And you're like,
they pay a lot.
I was like, I don't have a dishwasher, so $27 it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's me or $27 an hour, And
I think it takes a lot of money out of their
I'm sure.
I think they only get paid
13 out of that.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's like some sort of like.
It sucks.
Yeah, yeah. So that's not the answer either. You know what I mean? Like
some people work on it full time. I mean, that's all they do.
Respect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's a grinder's way to
for sure
live.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think it's for people that want autonomy. Like, I don't want to work today. Cool, I don't work today.
Yeah, man. But like, I want some stability in my life. I worked long and hard enough to like
get that stability.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I chose to be a chef, so like I didn't make it easy.
Yeah.
Like,
if you had an ideal location for your restaurant, where would it be in San Francisco? What are your favorite neighborhoods?
It's funny. We ran away from the Mission for a long time, but I think like the energy of the Mission would probably be good. Like if you saw the vibe this past Monday of just like we want to be loud. You know what I mean? Like we're a music and food place. Like both are equally important to us.
Mm.
So, we were looking at a place on like Hyde and Nob Hill and we loved it. It like kind of fit, but man, I think we probably would have like the neighbors would have hated us. You know what I mean? Like I think we would have.
That happens here in the Bay. They'd be writing articles about that.
Yeah, shit. Man. And I think like we would be a little ruckus for the neighborhood.
Right.
So I think in a perfect world, I would say like somewhere, not like deep Mission, but like somewhere like on the fringes of Mission. North Beach would be really good for us. North Beach would I think would be like the home run if I had to really really choose one. Mm. That'd be dope. I think there's like the bar culture there. I think like again we want to be a place that like people come to just like hang out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're gonna have good music. We're gonna invest a decent amount of money in our sound system, and like we've got a music engineer like friend that's gonna help us build our speakers. Like we're gonna put the work into it. So we want it to shine as much as the food. Mm-hmm. And I do think there's like some neighborhoods that probably wouldn't appreciate that as much as others.
Yeah.
There's some neighborhoods that I just don't want to be in. I live like Post and Jones. I live on like the Tender Knob. You know what I mean? Union Square. Like, I don't really want to be around there. Like I think it's just a little. You have to just deal with some shenanigans that I don't have to deal with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got to deal with it everywhere. But same thing like Soma. I'm not really like trying to go into Soma. I think there's like some. We want to be a neighborhood spot. You know what I mean? We want people, we want some foot traffic. We want you to walk by and hear it and be like, oh, need to go. You know what I mean? Like that energy is contagious.
So you've talked about the music. What is it other than like the speakers being custom made? And you said, I think you said your wife earlier.
It's vinyl, so it's all vinyl.
Okay, got it.
So yeah, we've been collecting vinyl for about 10 years with like the intention of this all.
Yeah.
My wife spins 45s. We have a decent little like I shouldn't say little like.
So she'll DJ and you cook.
Basically, I think like we're gonna.
That's fucking dope.
Yeah, I think like during the week we'll do sides of albums. A little bit more of like music curation. But I think on a Friday set we intend to do some programming. And yeah, like we're gonna have people in there.
Side A.
Yeah, like playing.
Bro, it's all coming to me now. I'm like,
there you go. So yeah, man, it's. Again, it's supposed to be like you coming to my house, dude. Like if you were to come to like a dinner party at my house, we'd probably have the turntables going. We'd be cooking. The table would be full of food, right? We'd be throwing bottles of wine around. I want to do that, but not in my apartment.
Yeah, I want to get paid for that. You want to get paid for the shit that you want to that you like doing.
Like my life is that simple. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying.
I liked exercise for a long time. You know what I mean? And I was just like, this isn't it forever.
Yeah.
I was like, but what I could probably do forever is I could probably cook for people, and like. Enjoy their company and have a good time. I think like I could do that. So I just like went on the journey to like improve my craft. I wanted to be good at what I did. You know what I mean? And so I could then do that one day for people.
Fuck yeah. What are you into when you're not working?
I golf, man.
You golf. You're a golfer.
Dude,
you're not dressed like a golfer.
I mean, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like when you play golf, you like become golf.
I mean,
you walk around with a visor on. And
my goal in life is to have the option to golf every day, man. Like how sweet would that be? The barometer is like, you have the money, you have the time.
Yeah. What about it? What about the golf?
Yeah, you can drink beer, smoke weed, and walk outside for 4 hours. What sounds terrible about that? You gotta whack
nothing.
Yeah, you gotta whack a ball around.
Nothing.
A little bit, but golf's awesome. Like again,
are you emotionally invested in the game? Like, do you get pissed off when you don't do good?
I'm not emotionally invested in nothing except my love life.
Yes,
my wife.
Marriage.
But no, man. Like I'm a pretty like even keeled guy, man. I'm not gonna like waste my energy on like being emotional about golf. You know what I mean? Like
people freak the fuck out.
Dude, they do. I've seen clubs broken and thrown into water. You know what I mean? Like, no, man. I'm a leisure golfer. I go because it's fun, man, and it's like enjoyable to be outside, be with your people, your friends, meet some random people who become your friends. But yeah, I golf. We go obviously a lot of music. My wife being in music, we see a lot of shows, so stuff like that. Pretty standard shit, man. Like,
so you say your wife spins vinyl. Does she do that on a full-time basis?
No. She works in for a company called Superfly. They like created outside lands and stuff like that. So
oh shit.
So she's in like the business side of music, and then in her free time, she's been DJing for a handful of years now.
Oh, that's dope. Okay.
Yeah. She like comes from a music background. She worked at Starbucks doing music curation for them for a while. She obviously helped start like I said,
Starbucks music
curation.
So just so you stay there and suck on their products for longer.
Something like that, I would assume. Yeah. There's a lab for it, I'm sure.
Yeah. There was a year where I ate 3 chocolate croissants every day.
That sounds like a good
for the whole year. And I was like, damn, I ate over 1,000 croissants last year.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Then I stopped eating croissants.
All from Starbucks.
Yeah.
So you ate like D+ croissants.
I mean, honestly, bro, warmed up. Tell them to, this is what you do, all right?
Hit the Turbo Chef twice.
Yeah. You literally say, yo, roast that a little bit longer. And then it gets this burnt bottom, and it's got notes of Pop-Tart. Notes of burnt Pop-Tart.
This is a great moment. Like, it's amazing what you'll get if you ask. All you had to do is ask.
Yeah, literally. I was
change the croissant.
Well, I just got chef in, and I was like, what would I do if I was working at Starbucks? Like, what kind of shit would I do? Like, when I worked at KFC, the manager. KFC? Yeah, when I was 16, the manager that we had loved fish, and he had a friend who used to fish. So his friend would come in and sell him fish, and he would fry it in the original.
Was that your first job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original dredge.
Dairy Queen guy.
Dope. Yeah. Dairy Queen.
Yeah, man. Had to weigh the cones, 3.5 ounces. I can still remember it.
You weigh the cones?
Dude, yeah. You had to, like, when you did, like, you know, because they, like, you make the ball type scenario, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like 3.5 ounces for, like, the regular double ball situation. But if you got the extra stack, it was 5 ounces.
Is that give or take, or is that
No, there's a scale.
accurate?
There's a scale next to it, man. I mean, obviously, you could only do so good, but, like...
Are you, like, taking a little bit off of it?
Yeah, you know, you figure it out. You know, dip that stuff in the chocolate, hold that.
Yeah. Do those numbers get recorded?
They definitely weren't. You know what I mean? Like, no, but,
I don't know, man.
but
I just think about it from my perspective. If I was the business owner, I'd be like, I want to know how many fucking ounces you put on that scale today, because I need to know if you're stealing ice cream from me.
I think like Steve, I think was his name, Steve and Mary Jane. I think it's like the couple who owned it.
Yeah.
Like they probably tried. You know what I mean? But like you also had like high school kids working there. You know, and like how much
enough motive to threaten their lives. you know,
I was like just trying to get out of baseball practice early enough to get to work on time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I could just imagine fucking those places smell so sweet.
Oh, dude,
I can't do it, man.
I mean, it was more funny. Like you just like saw your friends in high school, like come in and just like blazed out of their mind. Like
I don't know. Maybe your wife can answer this. I know she's not on the show, but I know that Starbucks doesn't smell like a coffee shop anymore. Like it used to smell like coffee and donut, like Dunkin' Donuts. You know, that's just intoxicating. You're like,
I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'll say it. I do.
You like it more than Starbucks?
Coffee? For sure.
What? Dunkin' Donuts better than Starbucks?
Without a doubt.
Damn. What do you like about it? Just the simplicity?
Yeah, man. And it's not like it's tannic. Like the fucking Starbucks coffee, man, like gonna give you cotton mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like sharp.
Gives you a headache. It dehydrates you so much.
Yeah, but like, you know, you get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It comes in, you know, I mean, in the Midwest, it comes in a styrofoam cup, so it stays hot forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Northeast.
Yeah.
Styrofoam cup.
Don't say
and the lid doesn't leak.
No.
Because over here in California, you get a fucking coffee, your shit's like all over your fucking hand.
If you like leave it sitting there long enough, like it like starts to bleed.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like this paper is not working.
For sure.
You know, like here's your paper straw.
Dude, Starbucks. Do you have any addictions like coffee? Something like that?
No,
like drinking coffee
drink
all fucking day at work.
I drink a lot of coffee, but I like coffee.
Right.
Like I've liked coffee since I was like a kid, and coffee ice cream. Like, you know what I mean? Like I like the flavor of coffee.
Right.
But no, man, I'm good for like 2 cups a day. I would say like right now, like a cup a day. I'm not making it like more than one. If I maybe had a more convenient.
When you find the space, it's gonna be 3 coffees a day.
I mean, when I was at the restaurant, I was drinking like 4 or 5 or 6.
Right.
Depending on the day, but like right now, no, I'm not like fiending for coffee.
Right.
No, I'm pretty even.
Sometimes if I'm not busy, I try not to drink coffee, but then I'm like, I kind of still want. It's the habit of going to the place to get it.
I mean, I like making coffee. Like, it starts my day, right? I get up, I turn the kettle on, I make coffee, I sit on the couch. You know what I mean? I grab a book or something like. You know,
right.
I like the habit of it all. I do like stuff like that. I do like routine. But no, I like on a Sunday. I know I'll drink coffee on a Sunday, but like like I'm not like, man, now that it's noon 30, I need another cup of coffee.
Right. I made a rule: no coffee past noon.
Oof.
That's my rule.
That's pretty good.
Just because I don't want to deal with the half-life and the after effects of just having it in your system. You can't go to fucking bed. I can't sleep as it is.
I was to say, what are you, 50?
I can't sleep, man.
That's not.
Telling you.
You meditating? Meditating?
Trying to.
Go for a run or something?
I mean, I think I need to do that. I think I need to like literally exhaust myself.
That's it's a good strategy.
Because I was doing it in a really unhealthy way where I was like, what if I get drunk every night? but then like
and have average sleep.
Yeah. But then my thing is when I drink, bro, like once I get drunk, I'm going to sleep. Like there's only a ticking time bomb before I have to get into a bed or I'll go out.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm with
and
you.
If I don't drink aggressively, then I don't get drunk. So I have to drink aggressively in order to like have the drunk night out. But it's like,
what do you drink?
I like mezcal cocktails. That's what I like. Mezcal cocktails has been like, I feel like mezcal makes every cocktail better. Mezcal Negroni.
I would say
mezcal old fashioned.
Mezcal is probably the superior spirit.
Really?
I think so.
You're gonna say that?
Next to Fernet.
Dude, bourbon's taking a whooping.
Dude, bourbon just makes people angry, bro.
Yeah.
like I don't care what you say. Like you can't tell me there's one person out there who's like the happy person when they start like drinking bourbon or scotch.
Yeah.
You know
I will
what
say that every single fucking celebrity has a vodka or tequila brand. Not many have a whiskey brand.
I wonder why.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just going out of style.
I love a
People
vodka
wanna
soda,
drink.
dude.
You know what? I
it.
didn't think I liked vodka until I got drunk off martinis one night.
Dude,
And I was like, yo.
I'm a martini guy.
See, I was never a martini guy. I was a judger. I used to be like, if you
I mean, it's a cup of vodka.
Yeah, I was
Or a
like,
cup of gin.
yeah, because
You know
I
what
was like,
It's
if
a
you
cup of
order
vodka.
that, you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, if you order a martini, you better had a bad day, or something horrible happened to you.
I don't know, man. You've been to House of Prime Rib and ordered a
No, now I don't think that though. Now
Yeah,
I'm like, let's go.
right 2 martinis doesn't
Extra
hurt.
olives.
Yeah,
please.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out Trevin, best martini, by the way.
Trevin?
Trevin, he's the bar director at Aphotic. They do like
Mm.
a seaweed martini. And again, I'll drink a shitty martini. I'm not hard to impress. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I gotta say, he worked really hard to get it. And it's like one of those things, like it's a martini that you can only have in one place. You know what I mean? Like because of what they do. So like,
Is it his ratios or the aeration?
no,
or the...
you know they like distill the seaweed into the spirit, and like they like worked really hard to like get the balance right. And again, like it's subtle, right? But like as a person who like watched it unfold, you know what I mean, and the work that went into it for a nuanced martini, which is again we're calling it a cup of vodka, or a cup of gin. Pick your poison. It's really fucking good. You know it is. Just want to give him a little shout out for that.
Heard that.
Because when he did make it, I was like, this is the best martini I ever had. And I like martinis.
When did you figure out that you like martinis? Were you a young lad?
I
or
was
were you...
probably younger than I probably should have been. But I don't know. I'm from Chicago, man. Like steakhouse area. Like you
Right,
go,
yeah,
you,
Chicago,
you
yeah,
go
that's
you
right.
go to like that's like part of the experience.
Right,
you go to
right.
Gibson's, you get a martini first. You know, yeah, man. I like a martini or two than like a bottle of red with whatever you eat.
You got a big happy hour thing over there in Chicago.
It's a big drinking hour. You know, like it's just like a
Yeah. Like over here in San Francisco, not really.
you know
A little bit.
yeah. I mean,
But
there's like
Sunday
drinking
here.
culture, but Sunday here.
In San Francisco, people get fucking hammered.
I mean, I'd live right by Jones.
Everything
man.
closes at 6.
Dude,
But
everybody gets drunk before.
by 6, yeah.
That's the one thing, man. Like, it's such an early city here.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if that's good or bad. You know, we talk about it all the time. Like, you know, you get out of service. Like, where do you go?
I think we should have shit open till 4 a.m. If we're trying to be a city, just put your fucking big boy pants up, get some more fucking cops, open some bars till 4 so we can go out and get fucked up.
I just think, like, what's wrong with it? Like, what's the argument against it? Like, there's money to be made.
I think it's a safety insurance thing.
Safety, dude. Like,
It's always, I think it boils down to like insurance.
I mean, that's fair. But shit, like, when do things get broken into? Like, during that time? So what if you were just there?
Right.
I mean,
There you go. Or you could just live at your business.
yeah, you know, church starts early.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you know, but there's a big Chicago. That's part of the reason, like, why I wanted to get out of there at one point too. Other than the weather, man, it's just like it's flat in the Midwest. Like it's beautiful in the summer, but man, it's cold, and like you celebrate because it's warm. You celebrate because you're inside. You know what I mean? And there's just like it's different culture out here, dude. Like the California sober movement, right, where people like don't drink, but they like sit there and just like throw ketamine up their nose. Like, what's the difference? I mean, I would say booze is dangerous, though. You know, booze, you know, you can't black out from many drugs. You can black out from ripping shots all night.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's an argument for the,
What can kill you quicker?
yeah, I mean, there's all of the above. You know, it's all pick a poison, pick a vice. But I think, you know, booze culture out here is changing. Actually, it's funny that we're talking about this. We've talked a lot about we're going to probably not get a full liquor license for the restaurant. Probably just be beer and wine.
That's where people are living right now.
Yeah, and honestly, we're going to put probably a lot of emphasis on is the NA. Man, I sat at the pass at a Photic, man. I can't tell you the number of NA cocktails that get ordered in NA. There's just like a real, I don't want to call movement, but like there's a real desire for that. You know what I mean? And who are we to like as restaurateurs or restaurant owners or chefs or bartenders to like not give that guest the same opportunity to enjoy their experience?
Right.
And I tried sober January. I'm gonna say tried, got halfway. I like went out to dinner, man, and I was like, there's not that many options. Like if I don't want like iced tea soda or lemonade, like what do you drink when you're out to dinner and you're not trying to consume alcohol? And there's a lot of products these days that are like going that direction, but I also think there's not that much. I mean, there's some places in particular, but I think it's still an inconvenience. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's as, I don't know, it's not as high of a priority for people who work in our industry. You know what I mean? Like, again, that's just my take on that. But I think.
Is there non-alcoholic wine?
There is. It's called juice.
How does that taste?
No, who's like trying to make a lot of non-alcoholic wine is Sean Brock. He's got like a company.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like trying to make like, I don't know, juice that's wine-ish.
Imagine though if they kind of did that with CBD because you could smoke CBD and not get fucked up. But imagine if they just started doing that with drugs. Like you can experience like what it's like to do heroin, but not with the actual heroin.
Right. You can give yourself vitamin D shots.
Yeah, exactly. It'd just be like in the bathroom doing vitamin D.
Yeah.
Like I don't drink, I do ketamine. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I just like. Again, I have friends who are on those. It's one of those things like it's all lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Like, but who are we to say that's right or wrong? Back to all like I want to have a place that all people feel like they get the equal treatment. They're not like left behind because they don't drink.
Right.
Like that's lame. You know what I mean? Like I want to take care of every guest that I can. That's why we've been doing our pop-ups like off menu. Do you know what a Frito pie is?
Yes, I do.
Dude, I think the Frito pie is my calling.
Really?
Dude, it's the perfect food. It can be vegan. It can be gluten-free. You can, like, if you loaded that thing with any genre of stuff, I think that the experience of eating it is equal across the board.
Chili cheese.
You know what I mean? Beans, whatever. Like, I did duck confit in them the other day because we were doing duck confit tacos. So like,
damn,
like
chef,
bechamel, mornay, like a cheese sauce, cake, like you know what I mean. Like you can go a lot of different directions, and it's mobile. Just saying.
When you were at a Photic, how often did you guys change the menu?
We rode the opening menu pretty long. Probably a year of the tasting menu. We had an a la carte menu at the bar, which was a little bit more, I don't know, fluid. But we opened with like pretty clear intention of like, this is who we want to be. This is what we want to be.
Yeah.
And again, we like I said, we did the work. Like we are indeed that menu and tasted and like had like, it wasn't like, oh, let's close the doors and like figure this out. It was like, close the doors. This is who we are now. And they just changed. I think they actually just changed their menu kind of recently.
Yeah, they underwent some kind of change.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it was. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Restaurants do that all the time. I'm glad they had the balls to do it because there's a lot of restaurants be like, well, now we just have to close.
Again, like it had the resources to do it. There's a lot of restaurants who just don't have.
Yeah, that's right.
The resource to like survive change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's an expensive business to get into. Got to know that.
Yeah. And to stay in it, it's even worse.
To stay in, yeah, I mean.
And it's not even like the opening's fine, they're going to love you for 6 months, but then they're not going to come in for that second 6 months. And you're going to be like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, how do you stay relevant?
Yeah, and you're going to do your new gimmick and they're going to come in for 3 weeks and then they're not going to come in and you're going to be like, okay, fucking.
What do I got to do?
Tuesday night fucking.
Yeah, it's oyster shooters. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, and again, like those meetings are had.
Yeah.
Like, those are real meetings that you sit down and like talk about, like, hey, what do we do to like get people in the seats? You know, like Michelin night. Like, I think we had, I don't know, 18 covers that night. The whole staff is like in the back watching the awards. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't busy that day. That night we had like, I don't know, 600 reservations made. It was like crazy. It's like 3,000 like new views. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was instantaneous. But even then, like, you know, like, how long does that last?
Right. And then you have a honeymoon period, I think, after you get your star. And then you start getting compared.
Right.
Then they start going, are they going to get 2? How come they didn't get 2? Or will they go to 3? Or will they go to 4? Or
the fourth star.
The 4th Michelin star. That's what this podcast is.
Yeah, right. This is
the 4th Michelin star. Hey, you have achieved it.
Hey, here we
are.
Here we go.
Congratulations.
Hey, amen.
Yeah.
I hear you.
In the name of Marco Pierre White.
Hey.
I pronounce you.
I actually just read his book last year, this past semi-recently, White Heat.
Yeah.
It was.
What a fucking savage, that guy.
Dude.
I think we should leave room. If you want to work like that, I think you should be able to do it.
I mean, like, surround yourself with the right people.
That's what I mean. I think
I mean?
if you want to go to a restaurant where the fucking chef is hardcore and the chef is down with it and you're down with it, do what you need to do.
And there's people out there who want that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and honestly, I'm going to say there's people who need that.
Yeah, I fucking need it. I'll tell you that
right,
much.
Man. Like, I got yelled at for not oiling the Chervil on the Muse. You know what I mean? That died in 37 seconds. You know, like, I wanted that, though. Like, I needed that to understand the seriousness of what our industry is, man. Like, it's not a game.
But it's not a game, and it's not. It shouldn't be taken for granted when you work in food. As wherever you think you are on the hierarchy of chefs, like, you are dealing with food. People put that shit in their fucking mouth.
Right.
Like, please.
No, and again, time and place. You know, like, I don't have like a lot of like prerequisites to work in kitchens that I work in. You know what I mean? Like, you got to want to be there. That is the only prerequisite that you need. And you got to treat people with courtesy, kindness, and respect. You know what I mean? And again, that's a wavering thing. But I think if like everybody has the same understanding of the expectation, you know, like, it's still sports, man. Like, coaches yell. Like, that is just the reality. And if you're like not living up to your the agreed expectation consistently, like, correction has to be made. And there's people who you can manage firmer than others. And I think it's the manager's job to like know that. But man, there's like people like Nagy, for example, you know, he's a sous chef at Sora. Like, he worked with me a long time. Like, that dude needed to be like rode hard. Like, he responded to like you being on him. There's other people who like you need to be gentle with. You know, I think the thing that is, I think, lacking right now that I see a lot is like trained leaders. You know, there's a lot of people who are really good with food in our industry, but, you know, like, when you become the chef of a restaurant or the CDC of a restaurant, it's like more than food, dude. Like, it's like, the food is the easy part.
Yeah.
You know, like going to Osito this last weekend cooking, and like just showing up to be helpful. Like, that is so much chiller.
Yeah, for sure.
Than like having to be the guy to like organize it all and like put in orders and like make sure
That's
that
right.
all, you know what I mean? Like, it just is. It just is. So like, I think there just has to be like I think that's like the next phase for us in the industry is just like really training leaders, you know, like, like people who can motivate people and inspire people and can meet them where they are. You know what I mean? Because I mean, I'm married, I don't have kids. Like, how do you relate to somebody who is got 3 kids at home and her kid's sick today? And she's like, I'm going to be like late, or I need the day off. Like, how do you relate to that? Like, I can't. You know, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what like the mental stress of being like, oh, I need to be at work, but oh, I also need to like take care of my kid. You know, so like, how do you create a space that people can navigate those situations and like not feel bad? Like, 'cause I'm sure you've been in the situation where you're like, I can't call off today. Like, Like that can't happen.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't want people in my restaurant who are sick. You know what I mean? Like I don't want, like, if you've got stuff to take care of, I will work hard that day.
Mm-hmm.
I will pick up those pieces. I will work the extra hours because in reality, one day I'm going to be sick or I'm going to have something crazy come up, right? And like it's going to be on the team or the group of people to like pick up those pieces too. Like we got to meet each other there to really make it happen. And I think like we all can go work at as many restaurants as we want and like learn all these super cool techniques. But it's a business and it's people. And how do you navigate that? I think that's like an underappreciated skill set in the grand scheme of being a chef. We all want to be like really great cooks.
I think we figured out how to teach people how to cook, and we haven't figured out how to teach them how to manage.
Right.
As a chef. Like, I mean, there's great chefs out there, but even the best chefs, they've had their shortcomings, or there are things that they've dealt with. And I was talking to Haley Garabato, the sushi chef at Nice, and for all the people that feel a certain way about you, like a negative way about you, there's like just as many people that feel the other way. So it's like, you may hate this person, but fucking somebody loves this person. Right. Like somebody fucking likes them, lives with them, fucking whatever.
It's their roommate or their partner.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's just like it is. And I'm like, when I'm working in this job, it's kind of corporate, and people are like, fuck that guy or fuck this person. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I know that guy's an idiot in your eyes, but like, he's our idiot. Okay. And like, he's going to be him. You can bank that he's going to be him, and he's going to do this or he's going to do that or she's going to do whatever. Like, just accept it and move the fuck on.
No, man, it's myself. Like, I'm not the smartest. I'm not the fastest, but like, I show up every day. I'm consistent. You know what I mean? And like, that's what I can give you. I'm emotionally consistent. I'm like, my performance is rather consistent. Like, again, am I going to teach any young cook some super crazy modernist technique?
Yeah.
No, man, like that's just not who I am as a chef. But what I do is I can teach you how to like work with people and motivate people and get yourself organized to like help others succeed. So like if you're into that, like I can help. If you like, again, want to go like a 3 Michelin route and like learn how to do some really crazy shit, I would love to watch you do that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Like there's, again, back to like, there's no right or wrong.
Exactly.
Just like, what do you want? Like, what's your end goal to be? And
play that game.
Yeah.
Because there's also, I'm kind of going through that right now where I'm like, I know I want to play the restaurant game, but I'm sitting over here playing the corporate game. Not the same game.
No.
So.
No, different games.
Yeah, and I have to be just mindful and intentional about what I do during this time, because I need to not lose focus or training in the thing that I'm actually trying to do.
But do you think they're related?
I think that there's, it's good to get yourself out of the restaurant and see a different aspect of it and work with people who, yeah, they're passionate, but like some people don't care. Like, I'm just here to do this job, right?
Yeah, it's a paycheck.
That's how I'm learning how to train in the new age. That's why I think I also went into it, because I'm like, I know how to lead in a very aggressive manner, and like I need to tone this shit down. So especially in this new day and age, right? So why not going into it with the most restrictions? And that's corporate.
No, I think that's I honestly think that's smart. Like, again, how do you motivate people who don't want to be motivated? Or, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or who don't
think that way. They don't.
Yeah, they just like don't. And like, it's an unrealistic expectation for you to expect that out of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, if like there are just some people who it is a job. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like when you are bugging out about that stuff, sometimes I'm like, in their mind, they're just like, dude, it's just like a piece of beef. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, right.
You're having a fucking meltdown, and they're like, what?
Like, it's not cut straight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, so, no, I think that's like an admirable, like, outlook, man. I think you really hit on the head. Is there are just people within our industry, and again, staffing is hard right now.
Yeah.
Finding the young cook who like is willing to go above and beyond and do the like, they're hard to find, and I think we have to be okay with having to train people who are not chefs. Not everybody's going to be a chef that cooks. Not everybody wants to be a chef. It's like responsibility, right? Like you've had to like do the hiring and the firing and the, the P&L report, sit in all these meetings and stuff that have nothing to do with like service.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I used to, maybe 2 years ago, be like, why would you only want to be a CDC? Like, you need to have your own restaurant. And like, no, you don't. Like, a chef can be, there's many different things. There are many different avenues you can be a chef and be, as long as you're teaching another person, even if it's one person, you're doing the job of a chef. Like, I think that for me, it would be best if I was CDC.
That's the best position for you.
Yeah, because I don't like the meetings, and I don't like the fucking, I need to worry about the light bill, and I need to worry about the fucking tile, right? I think if you want truly awesome food, you need to not be worried with any of that. And I think that's what we had at Meadowood, and that's why we always won.
Ah, man, that's like such a perfect world to live in, though.
I mean, it was like, okay, we were in a hotel. That's why restaurants and hotels just get you have your own construction crew,
right?
Your own groundskeepers, right? And at that point, you're like, hey, you come over here. And so I'm like, for me, I'm like, that's where I think I want to live. CDC. I'll be the owner. Don't get me wrong. But someone else is going to deal with all of that shit, and I'm going to do what the CDC does. Right. Worry about the food, right? I don't want to worry about the light bill.
And yeah, I'm like, there's like roles, right? Like that is the thing, is like really clarifying and communicating those roles and responsibilities, right? Because everybody's got strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. Like, it's not a pyramid, it's a puzzle. We all play our role, man. We're all pieces in the puzzle. Some days your piece feels huge. Some days your piece feels small.
Yeah.
Like, that's totally all right. What we agree on is that like we all combined our skill sets, our strengths and our weaknesses make the full picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I surround myself with people who have different strengths than me. I don't need everybody to be like loud and like energetic like me. You know what I mean? Like I need somebody to like sit there and like be the tactician and be like the sharp knife guy.
You need your stone cold cook that never laughs at any joke, because your goal the whole day is try to make them laugh just once.
Right, 100%.
You know, like you're like, you're miserable fuck.
Yeah. So like, you need those people around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're the ones who keep it going. You know what I mean? Like it's a team, right? It's not one person.
Yeah.
The prep team, man, those are the real G's in any system that I run.
For sure, yeah.
Dude, like, cooks are awesome.
Cooks are awesome.
Prep cooks get that shit done.
They get that shit done, and there's no praise.
No, man.
Yeah, like, usually the line cooks are like, you didn't make enough of this.
Yeah, like you didn't meese it for me. You know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the real champions, man. Is those people who literally get no love. It's hilarious, right? It's always that way.
Right. I mean, sometimes I talk to chefs and I'm like, why do you do this? And they're like, just to look out in the dining room and see the smiles and just, and I'm like, all right, what's that guy doing it for? And you're like, fucking out of necessity, dog. Like,
he's got bills to pay.
Yeah, man.
Back home.
Exactly. Exactly.
Again, how do you relate to that?
Right. It's an integral role that immigrants play in the kitchen.
Yeah, man.
And it's cool that there is a home for them in this industry, and then they can rise.
It gets back to what I was saying, man. Like, I think the gray area of our industry is really, we're supportive of that, and I think it's like my duty and like what I want to do is like give those people continued opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. You
know what I mean? Like truly, like, I want my cooks or my dishwashers to be cooks one day. When I left Cindy's in Chicago, there was a guy, he was a porter, and I got like a Sasha. One of the guys came up to me like one day and was like, hey, I just saw that he bought a knife kit on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, what? And, you know, like, before I left, I was like, look, he used to sit over the oyster station, you know what I mean, and just watch. He would get the dish pit clean and then watch the oyster station. And one day he was like, shuck oysters. And, like, he's now, like, a kitchen manager there. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want, dude. Like that's what he wanted. So that's what we gave him. We gave him an opportunity that, you know, I don't know, like, does everybody give a person an opportunity? I was given again, man, I didn't go to culinary school. I'd been a bus boy and I'd been like a bar back. I had no real cooking experience when I got hired for the first time. Like, somebody just like gave me a shot. You know, you got to like pay that back to the world, you know. And I think we work in a really cool industry that has the ability to do that for people. You know, I'll get weird. Like The Bear. I'm sure. Have you watched The Bear?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So season 2, there's a Forks episode, right? And I can't think of what the character's name is, but he goes to like Grace is like, you know, and he's like, shine the forks.
Per se, whatever
it is. Dude. And like, that was my favorite, man, because that was just like a moment where somebody's brain clicked, being like, this is a profession.
Yeah.
Like, this is like a real thing. This could change my life.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, that episode was like so powerful to me because like I was that guy. Like, I was in high school. Like, I didn't know I could be a chef. Like, I fortunately had some friends that graduated a year before me that went to Kendall College in Chicago. So we would go down and hang with them in the city.
Yeah.
And like, one was in on the culinary side, one was in the like front of house side.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's kind of cool. Let me stow that in like the back of my brain for one day. And like, here we are, you know, over a decade later, like, all because of an email and an opportunity.
That's how it all begins, man. Say fucking yes.
Yeah, dude. Like, yes, chef.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Yeah.
So where can we find you? Where are your next pop-ups? What do you?
So July, I think it's like 23 through 27. I'm doing a week collab with Sucio.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a la carte and like prefix type situation for the week. We're gonna have some of our friends like record selecting. It's not really DJing, but we'll like have them like bring in their records and like curate each night. We'll probably have like a different person. You know, we'll probably have a few things coming at the end of August as well. But right now, the one thing on the calendar is Sucio in July. It's 4th of July, you know, man. I'm gonna go like to a lake house and enjoy some sun. You know what I mean?
Damn right, bro.
You know, like that's my favorite time of the year, dude. Like, all restaurants should be closed over the 4th of July.
Yeah,
you heard it here first. Like, all restaurants should be closed over the 4th of July. You should be eating hot dogs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Not eating restaurant food.
I feel like we should do that. We should close restaurants for 4th of July. We should also find another week in the year where every restaurant is closed that week.
And it's just like
we just all go to a thing in the Midwest, like a festival.
I mean,
like, we don't got to cook nothing.
I'm going to take this back home. My wife's in the festival, but like, again,
let's do it, bro.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm saying,
I hear you.
Staff meal in the woods.
Dude, like,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm here for it, bro. Like, yes, sign me up.
Yeah, it'd be like one huge industry night,
right?
But just like industry fucking week.
It wouldn't.
Yeah, dude, you know how many collabs would come out of that? How many arrests? How many affairs? Like,
yeah, a couple marriages probably.
Yeah, a couple marriages is definitely gonna go every year at the Chef Festival.
But honestly, like, it could be done. You know what I mean? And like, it's just the right people with the right attitude. Like, again, like, why not would be my response.
Yeah, there's really no reason.
There's no reason.
There's no reason why.
Like, if you just knew every year, like, that's what you got to do. Labor Day, I don't know, pick a day,
right?
Like, anti-Labor Day, like, that would be dope.
The only thing that'd be open is the chains, and then we would all go to Cheesecake Factory
for sure, right?
Buy the whole place out. Everyone pays $20. Fucking Cheesecake Factory.
370 options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how would you like your sketty?
Yeah. You know, man, whenever I get a chance, I need to have somebody from that company on because I gotta find out like what is the fucking thinking process behind having so many menu items.
My only connection is I had a buddy from high school whose dad owns like a meat wholesaler out in the Midwest who like sells steak to the Cheesecake Factory, and like that's a lot of steak, dog.
That's a lot of steak, and also like how is that kitchen set up? Like, is it like if I'm the cook, is my prep list 2 pages of the book?
Dude,
or like, you know what I'm saying?
Like probably like cut, package, open, put in 9-pan.
Right. And that all happens in the morning.
For sure.
And then you come in and you're like,
and then there's like probably a rationale that they're like, push the button, you know.
There's a screen.
Yeah.
And they're like, fucking.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Do you like ticket machines or screen?
I'm a ticket machine, man. I don't want any technology. I would rather have a handwritten ticket than a screen.
You're not going to have any servers. These kids don't know how to write.
Dude, I'm like a touch. Like I want to be able to move it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even like in the fine dining game, you know, like there's like the restaurants that have like the one-sheeters that you like mark the boxes as they go, and like the tables are all in order with the reservation.
That's the best part about sushi.
Yeah. Like for me, again, I want to touch it. I want to be able to like, okay, they're on this course. It goes to this spot. It goes to this spot. And there's like a movement pattern. You know, I want to be able to like be proactive.
Right.
I don't want to like.
You can't do that on a screen.
You can't do that on a screen. You can't do it on a little sheet of paper when like you don't know who's in front. Like again, it's just like a racehorse checkbox. I didn't do good enough in school for that.
I hear that.
And I want to touch it, feel it.
Most of the people that did do good in school, I bet, could not expedite a good night though.
I mean, they'd probably be stressed out.
Yeah, they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I've worked with a couple rocket scientist cooks, man. They can't. They're too smart. Because most of the things that we do on the line, like they don't make sense.
Yeah, like
they make sense in that context, but if you're like, I'm gonna do this, you're like, what?
Yeah, let me think about this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean? You're like, no. You don't get it.
Don't think.
Make yourself a monkey.
As a chef
you're
once
just
said, you know what happened to the boy who thought?
Exactly, yeah.
Thought he farted, shit his pants.
Boom. Sometimes
Kevin Chance, that's for you.
Line cooking training is a fault to me because like sometimes, especially when I'm catering and doing pop-ups, I like things in the same place. So when I'm doing a pop-up or something, that's the hardest part. It's like where did I put that spoon?
Everything's new.
Yeah. And so I'm definitely a creature of habit when it comes to that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's the hard part. And I think like, you know, I got a couple guys who like work with me on my pop-ups who have worked with me for a while now. And you just like can't be upset about stuff like that, right? Like there's a lot of instances in kitchens where you create issues.
Yeah.
Right? Like you create problems.
Create the chaos.
You create the chaos. And sometimes it's for good reason. I would say like on majority of the time it's like not. You know, like so how do you like eliminate chaos? That is like my goal. Like I want to like a kitchen that has like just like a utopic nature to it. Like I want you to want to come to work. I want you to like just know that the job can be done, and it's my job to like make sure I provide the environment and the resources for you to have that. You know what I mean? And there's times that like you need to stir the pot, but I think there's also like a lot of times that like showing composure in high stress situations is like so valuable for young cooks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this is really bad, but we can like waste 10 minutes bitching and moaning at somebody about it, or we can just go to like to solutions first mode.
Yeah.
You know, like what is the solution to the problem? Like be a solutions expert. Like what is the fastest, most efficient way to solve the problem?
Right.
Losing your cool, wasting all that emotional energy, not the fastest way.
No. I think it's also good to discipline during prep.
Yeah.
And not service.
No, man. Like
let service be fun. All the mistakes, we can talk about them tomorrow or after.
I'm sorry, but like if you were a chef or the CDC of somebody who's running a restaurant, and by say if service starts at 5, if by 4:30 you don't know exactly how service is going to go, like I would say that's on you. Like you should know what's going on in your kitchen. You know what I mean? And like you should be able to look around you and assess body language, prep lists, just stations if it's going to go well. You know what I mean? And if you haven't been observing and have a system in place to make sure there was checkpoints along that way, like I don't like whose fault is that really? Like I take any cook's failure is my failure. Like that's on me. Like like I didn't teach them. I didn't take the time. I didn't correct them. Because that's like a lot of things. Like it's hard to see everything, and like there's some things you walk past and you're like, man, I just don't have the fucking time today to like worry about A, B, C, or D.
Right.
You know what I mean? Is it really worth me ruining my day over because she doesn't have a trash bin? Or like the prep cook is like cutting vegetables over the garbage, which drives me crazy. Like, am I going to ruin my day over that because of that? I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to like address it and I'm going to move on with my day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I love that. I'm going to roast you. Then I'm going to make fun of you. And then I'm going to put you to work. And then I'm going to say, I'm already over it.
Yeah, man. I'm
done.
Biggest fan, biggest critic.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first one to give you a high five. I'm going to be the first one to be like, we could have done that better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is what I could have done to hopefully get us set up better or given you a more guidance to get us there. You know what I mean? Like we've got to take as leaders ownership of that. I don't know.
Fuck yeah, baby. I think we'll leave it there, sir.
All right, brother.
Sucio Talk podcast, baby. We'll have another one when you open up your place.
Yeah, man. We'll run it back.
Coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Fucking check it out. Can't give you the address because it doesn't exist yet, but it will exist.
You got the internet.
That's right.
Side A, SF.
That's right. Side A. When I first saw it, I was like, side as fuck. That's what I first thought.
Kind of.
But I don't enjoy that Instagram doesn't let you capitalize.
Dude, it's the worst, man. Yeah. Honestly, I've been like thinking about it a lot, like trying to like, do we tweak it a little bit because it just reads like, is it like put on side A or you know what I mean? Like just to make it read a little bit.
I think you should do a dot.
You know what I mean? Like,
side A underscore.
Yeah, like side.
Like anomaly. Like anomaly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it is.
I struggle with it too, man, because in my podcast, I'm like, no one knows what this means. So I gotta fucking, is it a dot? Is it do I put podcast on it?
Right.
I don't know.
No, just be you.
Exactly. That's what I always say.
Believe in you.
Fuck yeah, baby. Sucio Talk podcast. Check us out. Boom, baby. There you go. Abraham Woodliff of Bay Area Memes is on the podcast tomorrow. Oh!
That's it.
Fuck yeah, that's it, baby.